Hi guys, it's Blacksmith Bets here. I'm coming to you with a breakdown for the UFC this weekend, and this is a fight that I tipped a couple of weeks ago in my free Telegram. It's Miranda Maverick versus Andrea Lee. Now the tip I gave was to take the Miranda Maverick money line at 1.72 odds, which I think is fantastic value for this fight. It's now moved a bit, it's closer to 1.5. I still think there's value there, but it's a lot less attractive, and I would use it as a strong parlay piece with another low-risk option. So a low-risk double, pair that with something else to get around about even odds or maybe a bit under. So this fight, it's really one of these classic scenarios where you've got an up-and-coming prospect in Miranda Maverick against a veteran in Andrea Lee who's at the end of her career. Now, Miranda Maverick is a fighter. For some reason, the UFC seem intent on pushing her. They really like her. I don't know why, because she had a bit of a pedestrian start to her career and didn't look great. In my opinion, someone behind the scenes, whether it's a coach, whether it's a manager, someone has said to the UFC brass, look, this is a fighter who has potential. She's athletic, she learns quick. She may not be the full package now, but she is going to get there. So you want to invest in her. And the UFC have stuck by her, and they promoted her quite heavily, considering that she's not really been the most exciting fighter to watch until her last performance when she got a submission stoppage. And I think that has been quite telling about her progression. She started off with some physical advantages, you know, being a strong, explosive fighter. She's now putting together the skill aspect of it. Another area that I saw that was a weakness for her earlier in her career was her cardio. She seemed to not necessarily completely gas, but her skill really declined towards the end of the fights. You could really see it, and that's the time when fighters would have an opportunity to finish her. Andrea Lee, you know, a veteran, that's kind of the ideal strategy for a lot of these vets against up-and-coming prospects. Take them into deep waters and then try and finish them. I don't see that happening because Miranda Maverick is training at Elevation Fight Team now. They will have her cardio nailed down. Her technique's getting better. Everything's trending for her. She's going up in her career. Miranda Maverick is on the way out. The way I see this fight going is Andrea Lee's going to try and keep the distance, use her kicks, use her straight punches to try and keep Miranda Maverick off her and try and point fight her way basically to victory. We saw her have some success actually doing this in her last fight, but she also looked like she was physically declining in her last fight. Not just the physicality when it comes to grappling, but also when it came to the speed advantage as well. She does have a reach advantage, which could play into this, but I think Maverick's going to really be too skillful now. I think she's at a point in her career where she'll have a good game plan. She'll come forward, she'll use hooks, maybe even overhands as well against Lee, and she'll clinch her up, I think, as well. I think she'll try and take her to ground and finish her. I think if Maverick goes for it, she can actually get a quick finish. I don't think she's got that confidence, though. I think she is getting there, but she doesn't quite have it. So I see her having a bit of a round where she feels out the process, maybe has a bit of success, and then she'll come into her own, and she either gets a late stoppage or she wins a dominant decision. The UFC love this combination. Miranda Maverick is someone who they see as marketable or has a lot of potential, and they have invested in her. They want a return on that investment, and part of that is feeding a fighter like Lee, who, okay, she's lost her last 4 fights, but Lee's been around for a while and she does have some rep attached to her name. They love to just get that last bit of reputation, whatever it's worth, out of fighters on their way out by having a young prospect come in and smash them. I think that's what they're hoping is going to happen. I think Lee may do better than some people think, but I think ultimately she's going to get fairly convincingly beat and maybe even stopped here. So I would lay the money on the money line, find something to pair it with. If you don't know what to pair it with, join my free Telegram. I'll have the link below in the comments section, but join that, and on fight day, I will post my picks, and one of those will be Miranda Maverick moneyline paired with another good option. And for those of you who got it, they got my tip earlier a couple of weeks ago, congrats. I think that's going to be an easy cash. For everyone else, we'll have loads of picks on the day of the fight. Join now, and yeah, let's go and make some money this UFC.